Thank you, Caherlach. Minister, we've spent over 2 hours of, in my opinion, making fun and game of a very, very important piece of legislation for people in this country from minority groups and transgender people. We are saying transgender issues. Transgender people are not, or don't, a lot of them don't have issues. The issue is society, and it's people who are anti-trans, and it's very sad to see public representatives using this platform or houses of the Oireachtas to spread, in my opinion, to spread lies and misinformation, as we've heard.
Language, and you should withdraw the
Sorry?
word. You shouldn't.
Okay, I withdraw it.
Thank you very much.
I withdraw. Information that when we could have focused on education elements of the bill, you know. Now I'm very. It's regrettable again that the government couldn't accept our amendments due to a money message around education, say for people in fourth year and secondary schools, on what a hate crime is, because what a hate speech is as well. When we know better, we do better, and prevention is better than intervention, if you want. And I know that my colleague Senator Barry Ward, Senator Higgins here, you know, we don't want to lock people up and say, oh, you're after committing a hate crime. It is about educating, it is about learning from each other within Irish society. And yes, Minister, I will put my hands up and say that this piece of legislation is not ideal. Okay, it's not ideal, and we could do more around definition, etc. But the part of the hate speech is removed from the bill. I want people to be very aware of that, even though some people spent hours talking about hate speech in the chambers this evening. It was hate speech is removed from the bill. And again, Minister, Section 29, just Section 29 is around you know, social media, multi-tech companies, and myself, I've been a victim many times of hate crime and social media, where I've been called names because of my identity. I've been spat at walking down the street going back nearly 2 years ago, not because I'm a politician, because of my identity. And there were no protections for people, say, from the traveller community, people of colour, transgender people within this community, within Irish society. So again, for me, it's a half loaf of bread is better than no loaf of bread. And I know that it's not an ideal piece of legislation and it needs an awful lot more work. But again, as I said earlier, I welcome the legislation. And to be fair, you know, the fun and game when we actually have guests in the gallery and insulting, in my opinion, people in the gallery who are representing organisations is not fair. And it makes me, if you want to say, while I'm a very proud member of this House, a little bit disappointed in some of our senators' behaviours heard this evening. So again, it's regrettable that myself and Senator Higgins couldn't speak to our amendments around the definition, around education, and also, Minister, I would really, it's something that the hate crime, the Coalition Against Hate Crime have asked for, is a report, is this piece of legislation working, and have adequate information as well of the impact of hate crime within our society. And again, you know, you have to prove it. It's like any other criminal case. You have to prove it was a hate crime. Hate crime. It was motivated by hatred, you know, and everybody would know that. So I want to put people at ease when it comes to this piece of legislation, that it's not just, oh, you committed a hate crime, as you said yourself, and anybody can read it, is that it has to be proven that you committed a hate crime, you know. So I don't want to be scaring people. And to say, as a mother to 2 little girls, you know, I absolutely welcome as much education as possible within our education system around gender, and, you know, and I think to use a child as a weapon and to use children as weapons, as we have been this evening in this House, is absolutely appalling. And I'm saying that as a mother to 2 children, Minister. You know, there's some things, and as a member of the traveller community, we have different cultural beliefs than people from the general population. Still within our community, you know, there's a lot of barriers for traveller women, if you want. Like, still it's not, like, traveller women very rarely even speak openly around issues that impact and traveller women, like say menopause, cervical check, etc. You know, so we still tend to keep a lot of things private within the traveller community, and we would be a very religious community, if you want, very Catholic religious community. And again, and I'm saying this as a traveller woman to 2 children, I welcome education to our children in schools, and I just absolutely regret Senator Mullen using a lot of his time to speak about children and how we're educating our children, when, you know, education is the key for our kids. And I think we have to keep embedding educating our children. And so what if we're talking about stuff that's not very comfortable in a Catholic sense, or in a sense of being from the traveller community, if you want, and I'm going to use my own community as well. I just think it's so important that we educate our children, and it's not that we're going in to make our children, what these people are making out, excuse me, I'm speaking, what these people are making out,
sorry, senators, sorry.
What these people are making out, just let me get my last point, Senator, and I'm finished then, if that's okay.
That's perfect, thank you.
What these people are making out in this chambers this evening is that we're looking to brainwash, and we've seen to all the protesters against our libraries and storing up hatred here over the last few months, you know, and like, that's an absolute sin. An absolute sin that public representatives can come in here for 2 hours and waste everyone's time and make a mockery of a very, very important piece of legislation.
Can I just say that, in fairness, no matter what your political viewpoint is on a bill or a piece of legislation, you are entitled as a member of the House to come in and express and articulate your view, no matter who you are.
Yeah, I'm making
thank you. I'm going to